All right, so this is big news, dude. Big news. Khamzat Chimaev about to get a title shot, and it is going to be at middleweight. You heard it here first. You can bet on this. You can bet on this, right? The UFC has not announced it yet, but this is going to happen, okay? Now, if you're new to this channel, it would probably seem like an outlandish prediction, given that there has been no direct implications that that's what's coming next. They said that Khamzat Chimaev is going to 85, and he's probably going to fight against the top guys. That's what they said, right? That's what they said. Now, two pieces of information have come out since then, and I'm going to go over both of them. I'm going to show you how I know that he is going to get a title shot later this year, regardless of who wins this fight with Izzy and with Alex and Israel Adesanya April 8th, which I will be at, son. And I'm excited for that. So I'm going to show you how I know, and then we're going to go into a couple other details, because I also learned something about Khamzat in the research for this video that I was like, no, I had no idea. And I mean, as it relates to what a savage he is, dude. And so we're going to go over that also. Super quick, though, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel. That's the agreement that we make. We're handshaking. I do this as a friend. You guys are my friends, son. You guys are my friends. I love you guys. And so I'm asking you as a friend, like, if you're going to watch my content, just subscribe to the channel. It helps me with the algorithm. They suggest my stuff to more people, and it is very, very helpful. So we'll handshake it. Thank you very much. All right, let's jump straight into this, though. So real quick, I'm going to show you the first piece of the puzzle, which is this right here.
Turn to Sweden, and that Khamzat could be the headliner for the fight card. The event will happen later this year, but currently there are no further details available.
Boom. All right. So UFC is going to Sweden later this year with Khamzat headlining. Okay. So now this is where, it's possible. It's possible that his headline fight could be against someone else, right? Like, well, maybe he's going to headline a fight night. No way. There is no way that Khamzat headlines a fight night, okay? Because the only way that a person is a headliner and it's not for a title is if it's a fight night. And there are certain guys, a certain class of guys who do not do fight nights. Like if you're headlining fight nights, you are a tier 2 star. That's not a knock at all. If you're headlining shows, you're a star in the UFC. But there is a level of stardom where you are not on a fight night card. You are a heavy, heavy driver of pay-per-view buys. Khamzat Chimaev being in an app, I mean, there's no question that he is in that group, right? There's absolutely no question that he is in that group, okay? And so if you look at this and you think this is like, oh, well, I don't know, it's circumstantial. Okay, well, listen, hear me out, dude. Whenever UFC breaks into a new, goes into a market that's, I don't know, like has a big star local fighter, they will always try to tie it to that guy. And as a matter of fact, in many cases, it's not the dog leading the tail or whatever. What are you trying to say? I actually have no idea. Like the tail wagging the dog or something? You're like, that has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Well, okay, my point was maybe they wanted to give Khamzat a title shot, and so they're choosing to do it in Sweden instead of like, we want to do a Sweden show, so we'll give, Khamzat a title shot, right? Okay, that makes maybe more sense. Why are you talking about dogs and tails? I don't know, dude. Okay? This is why we have two personalities, so we can talk these things out. Generally, we do it in our heads. We don't do it publicly, so we don't look so crazy. Hey, man, listen, people like when we talk with each other. That's what they say in the comments. I don't know. Some people hate it. Some people like it. Some people hate it. Shut up, dude. You're recording a video. Get back to it. Okay, fuck, dude. Anyway, so, but yeah, you understand what I'm saying. So like they might want to give Khamzat a title shot. So they're going to do it in Sweden. And if they are looking to do a show in Sweden, which I believe that they want to give Khamzat the title shot, and thus they are looking to do the show in Sweden. So my point is, once you go down a road of start to book the venue and start to make plans to where Ariel finds out about it, that is a decision that has been made. Okay. And if they're doing it in Sweden, they're not doing a Sweden show and not having Khamzat, fight for the title, if that is an option. So if people are like, man, I don't know, dude, that's not, maybe, I don't know, that's not enough. All right. Well, so let me walk you through this too. So this is where I could be this is where I could oops. This is where I could be kind of like, a condescending asshole, or I don't know, like I could point to my own success rate in predicting these things, right? Like I could just be like, guys, I generally am pretty good at predicting what fights are going to get made. I have and in situations that are hard to predict, Oh, like the one I always go back to. Colby lost to Kamaru. Watch this. They're going to cancel Leon versus Masvidal 48 hours later. Oh, Masvidal, undisclosed injury. Oh, weird. And in this case, here's the deal, dude. You have Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya at middleweight. Okay. This is a big fight that I will be at, and I'm very excited. Okay. So let's say Izzy wins, right? Let's say Izzy wins. Who's he fighting? Who is Izzy going to fight next, if not Khamzat Chimaev? Whitaker for a third time? No. Marvin Vettori for a third time? No. Jared Cannonier after that embarrassing, super slow, weird fight? No. Costa again? Is Costa in a better position for a title shot than Khamzat? No. And now we're down at Dricus Duplessis. Okay? Khamzat is for sure the guy that's going to get that next shot if it's Izzy. Now, if Alex wins, then you just come into, well, I guess maybe Whitaker, maybe you could do Whitaker or you do Khamzat, but which is the bigger draw? And if they are booking the fight in Sweden already, you already know what it's going to be. It's going to be Khamzat. And so that's how I know Khamzat is going to fight for the title next. Now, let me show you something else too, because this is crazy. So when I was doing the research for this, what did I do? When I was doing the research for this video and I looked this up, right? So I was going through, I'm like, all right, so let's just, let's take a look at his, at his fights at welterweight and middleweight, right? Just to get it, just to make sure that I remembered it correctly, which I didn't. Okay. So first of all, let's just look through his career just because. So he wins in the second round in this first fight, whatever. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 straight first round finishes. Okay. Then he fights this guy, Bravo choke. Jesus. Anyway, some kind of choke that I don't know how to do at 1.5 or 1 minute and 15 seconds of the second round. He wins by the same. Oh, wait, I got to look this up anyway, whatever. Don't break my balls, dude. Okay. I can't know every single choke. This is probably, when said out loud, something that I may know, but I don't recognize it by sight. So don't break my balls. Anyway, but so his first fight is against John Phillips. And then if you guys remember, he fought 10 days later. This is at Fight Island. Everyone's like, whoa, this guy's for real. This dude is for real. Now, if I was going to ask you which order those fights happened in, first middleweight, second welterweight, or first welterweight, then middleweight, of course, everyone is going to say the same thing. Okay, well, of course, he must have fought at welterweight, and then 10 days later, he fought at middleweight, right? Because, he made weight at welterweight, then he let himself go, and he was like, all right, I'm chilling now, but I could fight, but I'd fight at 85, right? Nope. How gangster is this, dude? His first fight was at welterweight, dude. Or I'm sorry, was at middleweight. The first fight was at middleweight. Okay? The first fight was at middleweight. And then the next fight, he on 10 days later, they're like, hey, we need a guy at welterweight. He's like, I got that. He made 170 10 days after winning a fight at 85. Come on, dude. Come on. That's crazy gangster, dude. Because what do most guys do? I've seen him in person. He's a big dude, man. He is a big dude. He's not super huge, but I'm like I said, I'm 5'10". He's way taller than me. Way taller than me. I was right next to him in the airport for a while. He's a big dude, man. To make 170 at his, he's not quite as tall as Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland makes no sense that he makes 70. Like that is but he's not that far off, dude. He's a big guy. So anyway, fought at 185 and then made 70 10 days later. Then he fought Mershart and starched him in 17 seconds, as all of you guys remember. And then he had 1-2 fights at welterweight. And then the Kevin Holland fight, is, that's that same choke. So it's the one where you curl, where it's like a front headlock choke, and then I remember you like curl. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Okay, so I know what choke that is. So, anyway, so like this one was at a catch weight at 180, and that is, I mean, and Kevin Holland had lost. Let's see what Kevin Holland had done, right? So Kevin Holland had lost 1, 2, and then almost 3 fights at middleweight before he dropped down to welterweight. So him, like Khamzat Chimaev beating him is not some kind of put him in the title picture thing, is my point. You know what I mean? So like what we're talking about is like, we'll go back to this. There's no one there. Like there's no one there at middleweight that is an exciting middleweight matchup because Izzy cleared the division out so well, right? Now, again, if Alex Pereira wins, that opens things up. But again, like there's just not anyone that's super exciting here. And like I said, if they are setting up a fight for later in this year, timing lines up, Khamzat Chimaev in Sweden is going to be for a title. Bet that. Bet that. Bet that. Bet that. Because again, the only way that it wouldn't happen is if guys refuse to fight him, which I would understand, of course. But you're not, Izzy's not going to refuse to fight him. Alex Pereira's not going to refuse to fight him. So if they put that in front of them and they're like, we want you to do this in Sweden, that fight's happening, dude. So bet it. Khamzat Chimaev getting the next title shot at middleweight. Bet that. Peace.